So since the chords contains no black keys, you do not need to write any accidentals on the start, like the flat signs or the sharp signs. So your C major triad is composed of the note C, E, and then the G. Hi everyone. So today we're going to be learning about the triad. So we're still here in the introductions of chords, and basically we already know about what the chord is. So it's a combination of three or more notes to produce a harmony of sounds. So we know that chords are built off in a single note called the bass note or the home note of those groups of notes in a triad. So in this lesson, we're going to be learning about triads, and in pertaining to triads, they are being created with the root note, third, and then the fifth. So in order for you to establish a harmony of sounds using triads, you have to follow this procedures. You have to begin with your root note, third, and then the perfect fifth. So again, a major triad or a major chord is built with a major third and a perfect fifth from the root note. So let's try with the C major triad. The first thing that we need to do is to write the root note of the C here on the ledger line on the staff. And then next up is to write the generic third and the perfect or the generic fifth from the root. And then we now need to determine the specific intervals on the keyboard. So since we need a major third, let's count up four half steps from the root. So we have here the root. So you count up half a step away, one, two, three, and four. So in order for you to get your major third, you have to count up four half steps from the root note. And then for the perfect fifth, you have to go back again to the root note and count up seven half steps. From here, one, two, three, four, major third, five, six, seven, and then your perfect fifth. Place your finger here, index finger, middle finger, and the ring finger here, or it depends on your preference. And then you have to play them all together so that you can have the harmony of sounds using these combinations of notes. So since the chords contains no black keys, you do not need to write any accidentals on the start, like the flat signs or the sharp signs. So your C major triad is composed of the note C, E, and then the G. So there is a harmony of sounds. So next up is let's try an E flat major triad. So you just have your E here, so it's a flat sign. That's why you have to decrease um, step back. So let's write the generic third on the staff, and then now switch to the keyboard. Then start at the E flat and count up four half steps for the major third. One, two, three, four. It's major third, the second finger, and go back to the root note again and count up seven half steps for the perfect fifth. So since we are in a major triad, we're not in an augmented triad. That's why we're just counting it from seven half steps. But it's different from the augmented triad since they are or they have eight half steps for the perfect or augmented fifth. So finally, write the needed accidentals on the staff. In addition, so to the E flat here on the first line, then we need to flat the next to the B here. So your E flat major triad is composed of a note E flat, G, and the B flat. Okay, so that produces a harmony of sounds. The next up is let's try a B major triad. First thing that you need to do is to go back again, write the generic third, fifth on the staff. Count the major four or the major third, four half steps, and perfect fifth, 7 half steps. And then finally write the needed accidentals on the stop. So in here, we need 2 sharps, one for the D and one for the F. So your B major triad is composed of a note B, D sharp, and then the F sharp. So we're still in the major triad. How about the minor triad? So next one is the minor triad. So the minor triad is created with a minor third and the perfect fifth from the root note. So let's try with the C again with minor triad. Write the generic third and the fifth on the staff. Then now switch to the keyboard, start at C, count off at least 3 half steps. It's not 4 again because that's only applicable for major triads. But since you're talking about the minor triad, they're just composed only of 3 half steps for the major third. And for go back again to the root note and count off 7 half steps for the perfect fifth. Here, we have to put the needed accidentals in here. So because since we use the E flat here, so a minor C triad is composed of a note C, E flat, and also your G. Okay, so that's your, just follow the processes so that you can get the minor triad. How about an E flat minor triad? So in here, they just have to write again the generic third and fifth on the staff. Next one is the can of minor third, 3 half steps, and then perfect fifth for 7 half steps. Then finally, write the accidentals on the staff. So your E flat minor triad is E flat, we have G flat, and then the B flat. Okay, so it goes like this. So let's try with a B minor triad. Let's build a B minor triad. Let's start off with the generic third and the fifth on the staff. Count from the minor third, 3 half steps, and perfect fifth, 7 half steps. And then write the needed accidentals left for the sharp. And then your B minor triad is composed of a note of B, D, and also the F sharp. Okay, so that's harmony of sounds. Let's try with the augmented triad. So in here, we use 8 half steps for the augmented fifth. So let's try with the C augmented triad. Let's start up with a generic third and the fifth on the staff. Switch back to the piano and start at the C and count up 4 half steps for the major third, 4 half steps. Go back to the root note and count off 8 half steps for the augmented fifth. So take note, augmented fifth has 8 half steps from the root note. Then finally, write the needed accidentals for it because that's very required. Your C augmented triad is composed of the note C, E, and then the G sharp. Okay, so that's your C augmented triad. So how about the E flat augmented triad? So we're just doing it again and again. Generic third and the fifth. Next up is to put or count the major third for half steps and the augmented fifth for 8 half steps. And then as you can see, no additional accidentals are needed here. So your E flat augmented triad is composed of E flat, G, and the B. Okay, so harmony of sounds. So yeah, that's it. All right, so let's build a B augmented triad. Let's go back again. Try the generic third, fifth on the staff. And next one is to count the major third for half steps and then augmented fifth for 8 half steps. So we have here the needed accidentals for the sharps. So B augmented triad is composed of a note B, D sharp, and the F. Okay, so that's your B augmented triad. So how about the diminished one? So the last triad that we're going to discuss today is the diminished triad. So it is built with a minor third and a diminished fifth. So if there are 8 half steps for the augmented triad, for the diminished triad, they are composed of 6 half steps only. So let's try with the C diminished triad, generic third and a fifth, then switch back to the piano. For the major third, you just have to count 3 half steps. And for the this for the minor third. And go back to the root note again, count off 6 half steps for the diminished fifth. Okay, so we're not saying augmented anymore because it's diminished from 1 to 3 major third, 4, 5, 6 to diminished six, or the diminished fifth, by the way, sorry. So finally, write any needed accidentals on the staff. So your A or your C diminished triad is composed of a C, E flat, and the G flat. Okay, so that's your C diminished triad. How about an E flat diminished triad? So in here, just have to go back again to the process, generic third and the fifth on the staff, then count up the minor third for 3 half steps, and for the diminished fifth for about 6 half steps, then write the needed accidentals for that because they are required in the staff so that you can play can play the songs very well. So your E flat diminished triad is composed of E flat, G flat, and your B flat. Okay, so that's it. So how about the B diminished triad? So we just have to write down again the generic third and then the fifth. Count off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the diminished fifth, 3 half steps for the minor third, and then there's no accidentals are needed here. So your B diminished triad is composed of B, D, F. So it goes like this. Okay, so that's it. So use this chart to remember those triads that we've learned today. So we have the major, minor, and then the augmented, and also the diminished. So 8 um, half steps from the root note to the last note of the group. Diminished for 3 and 6, or the diminished fifth, 6 notes. Okay, so that's is for our discussion today. Thank you, everyone, and hope you've learned something from this lesson. Thank you and goodbye.